Hello, Flosstube. Hello, Flosstube. I'm going to say it again because I'm not sure that I waited long enough. Um, Elizabeth Martinez, phantastitches, um, doing my Flosstube update number 301. Thank you for all my viewers who congratulated me on 300 episodes. I have a little giveaway coming up at the end of the episode, and I had 4 items. Let me get my. I have the names written out here. I had 4 items to give away, and I had it's kind of a weird situation because only one person asked for one of the charts. The same 2 people asked for 2 of the charts, and 2 different people asked for one of the charts. So it's going to be sort of a process of elimination because you can only win one time, but you can enter for all of them. So anyway, it's going to be a fun situation. But then I have a lot of stuff to cover. I have an update for our Etsy shop, and I'll do that toward the end also. But a lot of stuff because it's the end of September, beginning of October. So in with the old, out with the new kind of thing, out with the old, in with the new. I said it backwards. So I'm finishing up September and heading into October with new things to do. So this is a channel about cross stitch. If you hadn't figured that out already, if you're new, thank you to all my returning subscribers. I think I have 300 and something, 300 and a handful subscribers. And like I said, this is my 301st episode. So we're still plugging along. So thank you to all my returning subscribers. Welcome to anybody new, to newer subscribers or new viewers who have maybe not yet hit the subscribe button. You hit the subscribe and the little bell, and you'll be notified whenever I do a new episode, which is typically every Saturday. Could be morning, could be evening. I'm trying to get this one done kind of quickly because I'm going to the symphony tonight with my sister Naomi, and we're leaving a little early because we're eating dinner early because she has to be in the box office and all that kind of stuff. So let's get started. Got a lot to cover, kind of. So as far as stitching is concerned, I really only worked on one thing this week. Because it was the end of the month, and my WIPGO goals, which I've talked about before, Spring Scamper and the other one, Spring Scamper and Winter Gathering. I put in the 6 days of those, and part of me wanted to do a little bit more on each of those, but I also had 2 new starts that I was working on. And so I worked on the bear, I showed you that last week, and on Black Cat Season, which came in just before the beginning just before last week's episode. So I had done a little bit of that. So that's what I kept working on in between all the other things I was doing. So this week I was stitching on this number 1 of the Black Cat series by Lindy Stitches. And I'm doing it on this call for fabric, which is a skinny quarter of 32 count. Let me make sure I got the name right. I think it's blackberry, raspberry. I get them both mixed up. It's essentially the same thing, aren't they? Blackberries and raspberries. I don't know. I guess you could have a red raspberry, a little, and a blackberry is big. So this is Blackberry Latte by Grace Note Fabrics. This is 32 count linen. So it's really, really pretty. I like I said, I wasn't going to order the fabric, but I decided I wanted to do it as a bell pull, as it's designed. So I did the meow border from the free borders that she has on her website, that Stephanie Webb has on her website. So I'm doing another one of the borders down here. And I went ahead and finished the wording so that I could put in this border so that next month I can do the number 2 design as one of my new starts. So I'm not quite finished with this cat. I have just like his head and his back and tail. So I've gotten like right up to here. And I had forgotten there's a DMC number for this little pinky nose right here that goes here, and I hadn't pulled that out yet, so I got it. And then there's a little bit of back stitching in the white, the B5200 is what's called for that. So all I have to do is finish the cat, and then there's the moon and stars, and there's some other little star kind of things here and here. And that one will be done. And then, like I said, I'm doing this border to set up for the second one in the series. And that is this one, Black Cat Singing in the Dead of Night. This is number 2. And I have the little Weeks Dye Works floss pack that came with this and all that. So anyway, so that was all I've really stitched on this week. And let me get this out of the way here. Yeah. And then what I was doing primarily was all my FFO stuff. And I want to start with the stuff on my WIPGO board. And that was the baby sampler, or the grown man sampler as I'm calling it, and the Christmas penguin. So this is the penguin. This is one of my giveaways because I bought this one twice on purpose. So I bought it once to do it, and then I went ahead and bought it to go along with my theme of things I've bought more than once. So so this light blue Ada, it was a kit, a dimensions kit. And so it came with all the threads and with this light blue Ada. And I stitched it in 2019. I finished it in 2019 anyway, at Stitch Nanigans. I was finishing the snow here. Oops, there's a thread. I can't grab it. There. So these are half stitches down here. It's kind of hard to see that it's white on this light blue, so it doesn't show up well. But there's the snow and these are French knots. I don't remember if I did French knots or colonial knots for these at the time. I do colonial knots now more than French knots, just because I'm better at it than at French knots. I have a tendency to pull the French knots through and do them. One will be really tiny, one will be really big. So yeah, I don't do them very often. So yeah, and the only change I made to here was I wrote to Santa in the back stitching on the letter, because on the design it's not really, it doesn't say anything. It's just the little markings. But yeah, so I mounted on, this piece is from Hobby Lobby. It's just a whitewashed background and the wooden frame. And I bought these little stickers at Hobby Lobby and stuck them on there just to make it a little Christmassier. And then I used this green, it's a fabric ribbon that it was one of the ones that I bought at Michael's last year, I think. They were just random spools of Christmassy ribbon. and I just taped it around the edge there. And this is finished on a piece of foam core. I had originally tried to do sticky board, and I was not real happy with it because I had a hard time, because the stitching here is very square. At the bottom and the sides are very square, and I was having trouble getting it straight on the sticky board. I pulled it off and put it on, pulled it off, put it on, and what made it hard was that I had done interfacing behind this stitching, and I'm going to explain these little wrinkles in a minute. But I had done this interfacing, so the sticky board from was the stuff that Hobby Lobby carries, and it was very sticky, and so I was trying to get that squared, positioned correctly, and I was having a lot of trouble with it. And because the sticky board was so sticky, and because of the interfacing, it really stuck to it. And so it was really impossible to sort of, every time I thought I had the thing straight, it would, when I finished it, it would look crooked. But so finally I thought, well, okay, I could live with it. And I, glued the back on. And then the more I looked at it, showing it to my sister, was like, can you really tell? And the more I looked at it, the more dissatisfied I was, because the stitching on one corner went, it was obviously crooked. So I took it off, and I wet the whole thing because it was Aleene's glue, so it's like Elmer's glue, it's water soluble, and so I took it off, and because I washed it, it kind of wrinkled the interfacing a little bit, and I ironed it as much as I could, but it still came out kind of, I couldn't quite get all the wrinkles out, but hanging on the wall, yeah, it looked good. So, but anyway, this is the little penguin, Christmas penguin by Dimensions. I think Gill is the designer. I don't have it written down somewhere. But this is, you can win one of these charts. This is one of the giveaway charts for my 300 episode giveaway. So anyway, that's one of the ones I had, I was finishing. That was on my WIPGO finish list. And the other one was what I affectionately called the Old Man Sampler. This is, I'm going to cover up my nephew's stats there. But this is a baby sampler by Terrie. I have the thing right here. Steinmeyer. Terrie Lee Steinmeyer. The copyright on it is 1994. My nephew was born in 97, and I started it just before that. And I didn't finish it, but by the time he was born, and so I kind of lost my mojo on it a little bit, and didn't finish it until last year. I guess it was on my WIPGO board to finish it, or maybe earlier this year, I think. Anyway, so yeah. So I got this piece at Hobby Lobby also, and this is mounted on sticky board, but the opposite way. So the sticky's on the back, because I had already cut it. It's a piece of sticky board, but it was the stitched piece was larger than the 8x10 sticky board, but smaller than the next size, which is like 11x14 or something. So, or 8 by, because it was, no, I don't know. Anyway, but so I cut down the sticky board that I had. It was, hard to do, but I thought, oh, I already cut it to the right size. And again, I was thinking that, because this has, again, very square, a very square, edge to the stitching, I didn't want to have the same problem that I had with the penguin. So I think at first I tried it on the sticky side, but I think it was after the ordeal I had with the penguin. I don't know, but I changed my mind, and so I tried to put the sticky paper back on, but I actually put it upside down, because there's the non-sticky side, and then there's a regular sticky side that it would stick to, and I put it backwards. Anyway, I ended up lacing the piece onto the board, onto the sticky board, but I did it upside down so that the sticky side was on the side that the lacing would be on, and not on the side of stitching. And then I sort of, after I had laced it almost all the way, I kind of cut and tore the paper away. It would have been a lot easier if I had put the paper on with the, slick side to the stickiness so that it would, but anyway. But so I laced it over the sticky side, and then I glued it on to that piece. It's a long story, but it came out good. And so this was the baby sampler. Ooh, sorry. Yeah, so it came with a little simple alphabet, so you could personalize the thing and all that. But so that's the baby sampler, and the penguin. I just want to show a finished picture of that finished. Yeah, it's by Dimensions. Yeah, Gill Cooper is the designer for that. So, like I said, that's one of the giveaways for today. And then the other pieces I had to FFO were this ribbon embroidery piece, which was one that was actually supposed to be with all the smalls that I did last month, and I totally overlooked it. Was it last month? In July. I had a whole bunch of small pieces, smalls that I did, that I showed, and I had forgotten about this one. This was on there, and I totally overlooked it. But I stitched this a long time ago. This is a Jeannine kit. It's a friend's note card. So it came with this little paper card, an envelope, and it says "Friends Forever" on there. But I changed it because I gave it to my mother. I don't know, Mother's Day or her birthday or something. So I just changed the wording to "I love you, Mom." But I had done this ribbon embroidery, and I had finished it in the card as the kit said. It came with, I think, a piece of mat board to use to mount it on, and I think in the instructions, it said to mount it, like to tape it to the mounting board, and so I did. But I had also cut the corners badly, so you could kind of see them here. They're frayed a little bit. And originally, my idea was to put I had some yarn that I bought that I thought would be appropriate, and it was kind of smaller to fit that because it's not very thick. But in the end, but I was going to mount it on a different piece, but in the end, but I saw these at Hobby Lobby, and they are kind of like picture frames. These little things hold this wooden piece in place in the frame. But it's just unfinished wood. So I painted it. Obviously, you can tell by the back here. But I painted it this green color. It kind of pulls out some of the greens in the embroidery, and then I laced it onto this board. I cut the board down a little bit to sort of hide these corners. You can kind of see some of the fraying in the corners there. Because I did not, after all, because I used this smaller piece, I didn't put the lining in there, But at first glance, you can't really see it. But I cut this little mat board down a little bit so that I could make it a little tighter finish, and also that helped because then it fit this very nicely, and I laced it onto the board, just to help me get that get it a little tighter, around that small piece. And I just glued it onto there. So, and it came with like a jute hanger on there, but I just used ribbon instead. I took the jute out and put this ribbon on there instead, so so it can hang. Yeah. And the penguin came with a little jute string to hang it, so you can hang that finish also. And then I had also mistakenly, on my WIPGO board, I had put Snowman PP, and I thought when I looked at it to stitch it, I thought that meant Priscilla's Pocket, because I had a little stoneware Santa by Priscilla's Pocket. But what I really meant was, what I realized later, that I had meant Snowman Puntini Puntini, PP, Puntini Puntini. So this snowman I did for my sister Eve last Christmas, and I never got around to FFOing it. So this is Hi Mom by Paolo Rizzi of Puntini Puntini. And this is kind of a bad picture. It's kind of a dark picture, but it's the little snowman button, snowball button, and the carrot nose on there. So it's stitched on, I want to say 28 count, probably 28 count Lugana, that I dyed myself. And I probably should have put this button a little bit higher. If you in that picture, there's a little gap there, but I think in the chart, it has like, if you chose not to use the buttons, or you didn't have the buttons or whatever, it had you could stitch the snowball in there and stitch the nose in there. It had two versions of the chart, one without these, one for the buttons and one without the buttons. But so, yeah, I think, I don't know. Anyway, but I stitched it. I used this fabric on the back. I've used this fabric before, but I used this fabric on the back, and because I thought it coordinated nicely. And then I used this. This is like a fuzzy yarn. It's a blue yarn that brings out all the blues in that finish. But yeah, so that's the little pillow. That's the Puntini Puntini pillow. And then the other one I had was this. Let me get this pillow over here. This is another Puntini Puntini design. What's your superpower? And it says, I turn grass into wool. What's your superpower? And I did this for my other sister, for Naomi. She likes to knit a lot. She likes to spin yarn. And so, yeah, this is a yarn that I have that she actually talked about. She said, it's kind of almost like roving. It's not twisted very tightly. But I thought the color matched the green of the grass very nicely. And so this one is also done on, like the penguin, it's laced onto foam core. And I just, because it had those very square edges, the whole tree and the bottom of the hill here, they were very square. And so lacing helped me be able to sort of get those things more square than I think than if I had glued them. And also, it's very thin, like linen. It's I don't know if it's 28 count linen, 28 or 32, but it's very very see-through. And so I thought if I tried to glue it, it would be, I didn't think it would look good. So I went ahead and cut a piece of foam core so I could lace it around there. It made it a little thicker, but then I put the yarn around it, so, and then glued it to this piece. This is also from Hobby Lobby. Yeah. So, and what's nice about this is you can either hang it. It's got a little sawtooth hanger thing, but it also has a leg, so you can stand it on something. So this one is done also. So I had a little FFO palooza. So that is all of September. So I did all my September stitching and my September FFOs and all of that, and a couple of extras. So for October, the WIPGO calls were done. WIPGO pulls were done on the 25th, and so they are number 14 and number 19 on my WIPGO chart that I almost done. The September, I haven't changed the colors on the September things yet, but so yeah. And technically I have a bingo, but whatever. So October, number 14 is Piano Cat. And this was a kit that my nephew, it's kind of raggedy, that my nephew gave me for my birthday or Christmas or something some time ago. And I started it. It was a kit, came with with white Ada and all the threads and stuff. And I started it, and I had gotten quite a ways into it. Matter of fact, I have the older piece somewhere, but I had done it the wrong way. So I had started it this way, and I realized I didn't have enough room to get all the way to the end of it. I have a couple of other pieces that I've done the wrong way. The one I had, I can't remember what month I had, the Daily Walk in the Woods. It was just a couple of months ago, July or August. But I don't know, but just earlier this year, and yeah, August, Daily Walk in the Woods. And I had oriented that wrong also. But there's enough room, that it fit on there, or it will fit on there, I think. And something else I did the wrong way, but it also, looks like it would fit on there. But this Piano Cat, and I hadn't done any of the piano itself, just the gray, one of the colors of gray of the cat. And I looked at it more. The more I looked at it, the more I realized it wasn't going to fit on there. So I made the decision to restart it. And this was a piece of 28 count Lugana that I had dyed myself some time ago. And so fortunately, this time I did it the right way. And I did just for fun, because I was, doing a lot of gray. And these were kit threads also, but they're basically DMC threads. So I did, some of the piano and the music here, the edges of the music, and a little bit of the piano. And I think this, this is the cat's mouth and eye here. And so you can see more of the cat. So I have a long way to go on this, because I started over. So I have 6 days is my goal on my WIPGO board. And then this is, I think, the only one I have on here as a finish. And I don't know if I'm going to hit that goal or not. This is A Parade of Elephants. This is by Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. And it's a little hard to see there because it's gray on gray, basically. But she had done a series of, I think, of like 4 of these sort of animal things. and they were in Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. So, and I have the other ones, and I think I want to do them. There's one with cats, I think. But yeah, so I had this. This is 28 count Lugana, and I had dyed it myself. But it was this kind of weird red color that it's very very specific to certain kinds of designs, and I hadn't used it for that reason because it's just a very bold color. But oh, this is upside down. But so I'm hoping that I can finish this. I have one side of the border to go, and the reason I had done the other sides was to make sure that everything would fit, and to do the elephants, So I had done the border to make the elephants fit better, and they show up a little better on here. I think they'll show up better when their little blankets or whatever are on there. But I did the little pennants that they're holding, and the little baby elephant goes here between them. So I'm hoping I can finish it. The little baby elephant it's going to be a lot of stitching, but then once I get to that done, and I have to finish this elephant, but once I get that done, I think it'll go pretty quickly. Famous last words. But so there's not a whole lot left to do. I'm hoping I can finish this. So that's my other WIPGO call number 19. But then also, in addition to those, of course, I have new starts, one of which is going to be Black Cat season number 2, and one of which is probably going to be the next one in the Year in the Woods series, which I do not have out here with me, and I don't know what animal it is, but whatever the animal is that comes after the bear, number 7, I want to go ahead and start that. And again, I'll have to do the border so that I at least a little bit of the top and the thing, so that I know exactly where to put that design, because after my border, it's one stitch down and one stitch over, so that putting that border in will give me a better idea. And I don't know what because I'll probably do a left upper corner start, because that's where my border is, and so I don't know what's in that corner for the next one, because I don't know what it is. But I'm going to do it. So that'll be my other new start. And then for FFOs, I have the bunny sampler. This is a Chessie and me design. I like the designs, but the pictures I think could be better. But sorry about the glare there. There. So the bunny sampler, and it's actually very small. It's a bunny on a hill, and then there's letters all around it. This little heart, and then this big, what's called a spider rose. And that was a lot of fun. Actually, I was very scared of it, but it actually worked out very well. And I think I was in August, or maybe no, I just did it extra. I worked on it in August because my mother's birthday was on the 18th, so I worked on it on her birthday, and I worked on it also on Mother's Day. But it's that piece from New York Dreamer is the designer, and that has the 2 mystery buttons in there. It doesn't say anything about them on the chart, or but they're on the finished thing. And so this is what I was thinking about doing, were these spider roses instead of buttons. I don't know, I still haven't decided, but anyway, this is the bunny sampler. So I did the bunny, and I personalized down here, because I think, in the picture here, the person who stitched it, their initials are on here, and the year, I think. Anyway, so I put my initials. If I can read it, you can read them. Sorry. And I just used these letters, up here in the alphabet up here. So it's E-A-M. Trying to make my camera go dark. E-A-M, and it's 22. And I think there was something in here that I thought I could have spaced better, but anyway. And then there's that heart there. So it's really very small. And I have a piece that I think it'll go on. A couple of different pieces, options to see which one it goes better on. But that's one of my FFOs. Oops. And the other one is one I've been wanting to finish. I just have stuck it in my bag and forgotten about it. But this is by Tinymodernist. And this is actually the first Biscornu I purchased. Because, again, I was a little bit afraid of it and how to finish it. But I read and read and reread this, the instructions for this, and figured out how to do it. And but I had put off finishing it for ages. I think I worked on it during Stitch Shenanigans in 2019, but I didn't finish it until, I don't know, last year. So this is the Western Biscornu by Tinymodernist. And so this is the front with the saguaro cactuses and, and cow skulls or whatever. And then the back is just the little rosettes kind of in the border. So that should actually be relatively easy to put together because like I said, this is the first pattern that I bought with the Biscornus, but I did 2 Biscornus, one for each of my sisters, since then, before I even finished stitching this one, because I liked them. I thought they were appropriate for them. One is a gnome Biscornu, and the other is a dragon Biscornu. Yeah. So anyway, so I did those before I did that, finished stitching that one. So I'm a Biscornu veteran now. So I know how to do Biscornus, and so I'm not as intimidated by it. So I'm hoping that that'll be relatively easy to finish. And then I had a little bit of haul. I went to Joann's the other day, and I bought some stuff for the Black Cat season stitching, because I had ordered the bell pull topper, wooden topper, and then the like I said, the fabric and the floss pack when I bought the PDFs of the patterns. So I bought all the other stuff. So I bought this polka dot fabric. This is very similar to what she used. It's not the same. I think the one she used had bigger dots, but I liked this little polka dots at Joann's. And then I bought some charms. I'm kind of thinking I might use this one when I make the bell pull. I still don't really know what I'm doing as far as that's concerned. There's this cat too, and there's several kitties in here. There's a little bitty one. There's one with a little heart, and another little bitty one here. But I really like this one. I think it's big enough. It'll show up a little better. It's better than these little tiny ones, and so. And I like it a little bit better than this one. So I think I'll probably use that one. But we'll see. But so yeah, so I got this fabric to go with that. So that's for my Black Cat season thing. And like I said, I don't think I'll have time to finish it before the end of October, whatever. But you know, October comes every year, so. But I really like that series. So excuse me for making a little bit the nose. Oh. So before I do the giveaway, I think I'm gonna talk about our Etsy shop. So we have a couple new things. We have a sale going on. It's 25% off of 3 or more items. So you could buy a scissor fob and a needle minder and a project bag, and that's 3 items. Or you could buy 3 project bags if you want, or whatever. But so 3 items, you get 25% off. 3 or more items. And so to go along with that, we have some new fall editions. Let me get this other bag first. So these come with a matching notions pouch. Get that out first so I can. Yeah. So it has this. This one has this really pretty pumpkin fabric and this plaid kind of material as the contra fabric, and so it's really pretty. Sunflowers and pumpkins, and then it has that that orange fabric on the inside, and there's a little orange zipper and the little pumpkin zipper bowl, little pumpkin charm. This one is yellow, and then there's a matching notions pouch, has the same orange fabric on the inside, and this one has a little red pumpkin. And we need to close this and put this back in here so I don't lose it. But there's this one available on our Etsy shop. If it's not on there, it'll be on there soon. And then there's this one, which is really pretty, with this darker fabric on the inside and on the bottom. And there's a matching notions pouch. And it has that same dark fabric on the inside. And this is the bag itself. Pumpkins and sunflowers. And this fabric is, we've used it before, my sister calls it purple, because it's not exactly brown and it's not exactly purple. It's not black, but it's purple. So yeah. And there's a dark zipper there and an orange pumpkin. And the notions pouch has, I can't turn it around the right way, a little brown pumpkin, it looks like. So yeah, so there's notions pouch and this really pretty project bag. So they're both beautiful, very fall, very pumpkin-y. Yeah, so there's that. So go ahead and go to our Etsy shop, 3 Sisters Creative, and take advantage of our sale. And the sale will run through, I think my sister said mid-October, so around the 13th or the 15th or whatever. I don't know when exactly it goes to. But so yeah, so check that out. And like I said, if those project bags aren't on there yet, they will be very soon. And now, the time you've all been waiting for, the giveaways to mark the 300th episode. So we have again the swan. This is a little freebie giveaway that I got from Lindy Stitches for when I placed the order for the Black Cat season, because it came in 2 different shipments. I got 2 copies of this, so I have one for myself and one to give away, because although I didn't purchase it twice, I have it twice. So this one is the swan, And this is the Christmas penguin that I talked about before. So it's a dimensions kit, comes with all the stuff. And this one is Cozy Christmas Cat by the Blue Flower. This is one that I purchased twice. And then Santa's Young Buck by Teresa Kogan. And this is a PDF that I purchased during Jingle Ball last Christmas, and I already have it because it's on the cover of Punchy Little Primitive Stitcher. So yeah. So I have let me get to my list here of people that were signed up to receive these. So I had special giveaway words: swan, buck, cat, and penguin. And I want to start with the Cozy Christmas Cat because only one person signed up, requested this, so she automatically gets it. So the winner of this is Radiante $5.95 is the name of the person. So Radiante, send me your real name and address, and you'll get this Cozy Christmas Cat sent to you. There's a little kitty wearing a penguin sweater. A snowman sweater. Yeah, so that one. And then Radiant, I can't say your name, had signed up for the penguin, but because she won the Cozy Christmas Cat, I'm knocking her out of the penguin contest, because you can sign up for all of them, but you can only win one. So since she was the only one who signed up for the cat, she gets the cat. Okay, so for the penguin, then I had Chris Cook and Goldie Fish LS. So I have them on my little decision roulette. Chris Cook and Goldie Fish. You can't see that very well. But so now I'm going to go ahead and spin. So we're spinning and spinning and spinning. And the winner is Chris Cook. Chris Cook wins the penguin chart. Goes to Chris Cook. And actually, I'm going to write this down here so I don't forget. Chris Cook won the penguin chart. Congratulations, Chris. Okay. And then the swan. Okay, so for the swan and the buck, two people signed up for that. Barb Wirtsmith and Char J 57. So one person wins one and one wins the other. So for the swan, so Barb and Charge, the swan. Here it is. Here's the swan. Okay. And we're spinning and spinning. And the winner is Char J 57. Yeah. So that is the swan. And that means that Barb is the winner of Santa's Young Buck. Congratulations to all of the winners. And let me just make a note here. Okay. So, thank you all for watching loyally, for helping me get to 300 episodes, and we're on 301 now for the beginning of October, which is great. So I think that is all I have this week so far, and I got to get all the stuff packed up really quickly because I gotta get ready to go to the concert. But so, again, congratulations to all the winners, and don't forget to check out our Etsy shop, and I think that's about it for now. So, like I said, I've got all my October projects lined up, and that's all. All right, so I'll see you next week. Until then, keep stitching, happy stitching, and thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.